How's everyone doing after the big day, fellas? I crunched work for a week, so I just have all of Wednesday off to No Life Deltarune Chapter 5, and I beat it, so I'm gonna tell you now, full spoilers for this chapter. If you haven't beaten it yet, get out of here. Except for the weird route, I still have to do my full playthrough of that. Hey fellas, Onus here, and welcome back to With a Y, and yeah, we had a big time yesterday, and there have been so many little things coming up about the show that I wanted to talk with you all about today. For one, the 7 flowers in Asgore's shop being the Power Rangers, and Clover being a suicidal cowboy who's just trying to kill himself for 15 minutes straight, and you have to stop him from doing it. It has led to some incredible visuals. This game features some more of my favorite sprites, like this Toriel one where she's just drooling all over Chariel. I think this is going to be my profile picture in at least a few Discord servers pretty shortly. We've got a new gay Asgore ship where he has like a new Lightner-Darkner pairing. Screw Toriel, Flowery is here. Listen, when this motherfucker showed up on screen, I and a bunch of other people, like when he just like did his anime boy AMV introduction, I genuinely thought that like my game had crashed and something else had booted up, and I'm like, what did Toby put on my computer or some shit? It was more shocking to me than Tenna being a 3D model and there just being like a pre-rendered cutscene playing in chapter 3. It fucked me up, man. And this guy was annoying the shit out of me the like entirety of my playthrough until like the very end. Like he's a play off of Flowey, but he's a grown-ass dude and he has like one extra letter, man. Toby was playing in our faces this entire fucking runtime, and when the game turned into a 2D platformer, man, I was just like awestruck. The more I got into the mechanics, like, and how good like all the jumping and platforming felt, I was just cheesing. I had like a few pop-offs at like how good it felt to control. The yellow flower was a cowboy, and then you dip him in tar, and Friend Inside Me is gonna live for 10 more years, man. This theory is never going away. Spooky dude, eat your fucking heart out. The other thing that people have been taken away from this chapter is like, it was very Ralsei focused, which I was really happy to get. We learn all sorts of shit about this guy. Like he shows off that fire magic we see him have really briefly in chapter 4, and he's just like beefing with Flowery the entire fucking runtime. And he was totally trying to save him at the end when the knight fucking kills him. I told you this video is going to have full spoilers. You can't say I didn't tell you at the start, okay? From gay little Gory. Oh dude, I don't know what's happening. I think something is up with my healing spell. I don't know. I think you're just too far gone, man. I was surprised Susie didn't try and give it a go, but like she saw Ralsei on it and was like, let's just go fucking seal the fountain, man. I think we all probably had a reaction to Susie and Ralsei doing like the fucking just befuddled face. Not befuddled, there's like a better word for that. Shell-shocked, we'll go with that. Is this real? I didn't get this meeting. I think I missed the orange break. Look, I'm cute. Look at my pop heads. It's cute. And like he's just fucking stressed and has veins popping out. Do Darkners have blood that you would need capillaries to let them flow through anyways? This shit is fucking hilarious to me because like we get confirmation that Ralsei has been holding back this entire goddamn time. Like we saw him like one tap that Gerson statue in chapter 4, and he has so much information on the rules of the Dark Worlds, and he's like, listen Flowery, we both know that if I wasn't holding myself back because I'm trying to avoid fate, I could fucking murk you easily. There's a very good chance that Ralsei could solo the knight, but whatever it is about him that allows him to pull that off leans into something the prophecy says about him that he's desperately trying to avoid. I'm getting off topic. Where are those like faces of him just like fucking tweaking out? Well, I have at least Ralsei's on hand because I screenshotted it to make it my profile picture in several other Discord servers. It's only in one if I'm being honest. I'm just being dramatic. But yeah, back on the Ralsei hates Flowery train. That evil twink will pay. That evil twink will pay. That evil twink will pay. Just like meditating, praying on his downfall like Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3. Like he was just mad as fuck the entire time. And the one time the knight decides to deign to make an appearance, Flowery's like, don't worry guys, I got this. I'm gonna one-tap him. Speed Blitz dies fucking instantly, get turned into a pile of petals, idiot. This drawing is taking me out, man. I was a little mad at Flowery though. Like my boy has come so far into being his own person and like liking his face and wanting to like have himself out there, and then to like just be a part of the whole chapter 1 nostalgia theme with like the Rudens coming back and all the old trees and shit. He's like, put your hat back on, Ralsei. And they just bully him this entire time and say, you look better with a hat. You can have your preferences over the design, but my boy has an opinion. He doesn't want to wear a hat. And he's just fucking screaming at all times. Ralsei being unfortunately very cute when he's mad was just an additional layer of cruelty to the circles of hell he was going through in this chapter. Never accuse Toby of not liking putting his characters in the Torment Nexus, man. Now, the code we get at the end of the chapter that was inside Flowery's soil pot, 0915-1990X. This was the date, apparently, that the first fallen human fell into the underground. That is like a pretty big reference to drop, but I'm not sure like what the exact importance of it in the context of Deltarune is. I'm enjoying the soundtrack. I gotta go through it again after I do my weird route playthrough and then like add my favorites to my playlist. But I was thinking the shit when I was playing, but one of them just sounds like fucking Sneakers O'Toole from Family Guy. I am Sneakers O'Toole! Like, what are you doing that sample for on purpose, man? There was a segment where Yellow does the literal Family Guy death pose in like that 15-minute sequence where you're trying to not get him to kill himself. Also, the reveal that Susie is very homeless and has been, as speculated in many a theory and many a fanfic, is cooped up in the dark world and has been living there full time at night where they're not chilling at your place. Also, I fucking love Green, and I'm glad someone added the impact frames to the fist bump that Susie gives her. And also, shout out Green for just locking in half the time. Do you think we'll ever see a Toby Fox animated dap up? I'm gonna keep it a buck that Flowery fight was definitely kicking my ass. I decided to skip the Mad Mew Mew boss until like I do like my proper chapter 5 playthrough where I'm like getting everything. But that Flowery fight had some tough bits, and it did have a new soul mode, but I beat it pre-patch. It didn't take long for them to add like a patch where he gets progressively easier the more times you lose, but I did beat it. I just stacked up on green teas and spammed healing. I remember when I was doing my backtrack, I ran into this fucking Floridan. People were treating these guys like little fucking scrunklies when the designs first got revealed, but they are such weirdos. Like, there's the one that like wants you to find them a hot gamer girlfriend. There's this one where they're obsessed with the only slope in the entire game's 2D platforming sections. They shake their big fucking fluffy tail. Dude, you're a flower. You don't have fluff. That's Ralsei's thing. That's like the Kitsune's thing. I saw this post and I had like a similar talk about it with Fiznom after we had both finished playing the game. I'm not gonna lie, it did make me laugh when Susie started talking about, this is getting too serious. We need to actually tell someone about this all. And then said Noelle. What the fuck is Noelle gonna do about this? And I'm gonna be honest, I'm pushing back on this a little bit because I do have my personal pick of who I would have looped in on this thing. I would have looped in several people. The thing with looping people into it is like, who do you know is trustworthy with like the information of the Dark Worlds? There are exactly 2 other Lighteners that Susie knows about that have actual real-world combat experience in the Dark Worlds, Noelle and Birdly. Obviously, Susie's doing a little bit of it because like that's her girl and she wants to share like something that's a big part of her life with her, wants to make her a little room, but it's not like Noelle is useless. She was like doing some work in chapter 2. The thing is, the smarter play would have been to, and I hate that I'm saying this, bring in Birdly. As much as we all like to dunk on him and he downplays his intelligence as like all thanks to Noelle, that dude is like an actual genuine fucking strategist in chapter 2. Might I remind you that he was the one who orchestrated the ability to like put together the duck mech at the end of chapter 2 to fight Queen when he was out of commission because he had just been beaten in the boss fight after getting plugged by Queen to use his attacks. He's the one who rounds up everybody and like sets in motion the plan that saves the day. And also in chapter 2, he was easily the strongest Lightener in the entire Dark World, man. It took either all 3 of the core Fun Gang to beat him or both Chris and Noelle being able to dodge his attacks. And his attacks were fucking gnarly, man. They were cool. I personally think like if they were being serious about like, listen, we need all hands on deck. We need to get somebody involved in this. The police are out. Napster Bluke ain't gonna be worth shit. You can start with the other 2 who have actually already been there and like know at least a little bit of what's going on. And that way you can like tell them, listen, all that shit was real. We made up the dream thing because we thought it was gonna be dangerous. When it turned on the dot to like 10 a.m. and the updates were gonna be ready, I had another game in my Steam queue that was trying to update before Deltarune, and this is basically how I felt. Slay the Spire validating files while Deltarune Chapter 5 is queued for download.
Hey, yo, my life's like a movie, my eyes are like a Uzi, jacuzzi. Get the fuck out of the way.
It's genuinely how it fucking felt, man. Like, I'm not trying to see this shit right now. Get out of my face. I somehow missed this sprite. Wow, that was so gold. Is this a real sprite? Yeah. The talk sprites that caught me off guard the most weren't the ones that were like just a whole new perspective shift or like a position we had genuinely never seen a character's face in. It was these minor edits to existing talk sprites that like really caught me off guard. This has to be Susie at her most Barney looking. Like if she quirked one eyebrow down, she'd be doing the DreamWorks euphoric smirk. But she just looks so suburban here, man. Like, you look like you have an unstressful 9 to 5 and are totally fine with working until retirement. Yep, I have a porch, I have a lawn, I have a dog, I'm just really happy with my lot in life. I think there might be a video I make on this topic, like, as a whole later, but I've seen some people come down pretty hard on Chapter 5. Chapter 4 was, like, the midpoint and, like, had a crazy amount of lore focus and talking about the meaning of the prophecy. We literally saw the Titan form. There was all sorts of lore drops and shit. Whereas Chapter 5, like, decided to focus in on doing really creative gameplay segments and giving, like, the individual character moments time to breathe. Like, all the shit at the festival, the stuff with, like, Ralsei being a hater for the first time. And it was, like, going back in time to, like, pull up nostalgia shit. And I feel like a lot of the criticism here comes from a place of Chapter 4 was the cliffhanger we were left on, and it made people ask so many lore questions because of what was in the prophecies in the Sanctuary Dark Worlds, whereas Chapter 5 came out a year later and was way less concerned with answering all of that stuff. Chapter 6 and 7 are like the final two, so like those are going to go heavy into it, and they have to resolve the loose plot threads. And I think it wouldn't have been as controversial if Chapters 3, 4, and 5 had come out all together like they were originally planned, instead of this big wait between 4 and 5, where 5 doesn't address very directly a lot of stuff Chapter 4 was bringing up. Don't get me wrong, it addresses a lot and opens and does open a can of worms. But if you played Chapter 5 right after 4, I feel like you would be willing to sit on the questions 4 made you ask a lot longer and not really mind as much the Chapter 5 focus, bringing it back down to earth a little bit, so to speak. Anyways, I've been well back into my Delta Rot era. I'm proud. Like, we'll see if I get back to the point of doing Deltarune videos every other day, man. That was a fucking doozy when I was. Let me know what your favorite parts from Chapter 5 were, because we're going to be talking about them a lot. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @withay. That email's in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Anyways, piss off.